Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett, and in this video, we are talking about some interior design that everybody wants to know. Is it coming back? Is it here to stay? Is it gone forever? What's going on with this? I am going to tell you. And the first thing we have to talk about is something I see mentioned in the comments all the time, and that is laminate countertops. Or Formica, we don't judge, but are they back? Are they coming back? Are we ever going to see them again? And the answer is like yes and no. I don't think they're going to become super mainstream anytime soon. And the reason for that is, well, there's a lot of reasons, you know, and you can kind of look at why they fell out of fashion and cycle back to that. You know, we really love a stone countertop. We love a solid surface. And the Formica, the laminate, it's a little bit like not that, but it is, and it's this kind of weird in-between spot where people don't view it as being luxurious because, you know, it's not like a natural stone or it's not a created stone or something like that. And then at the same time, people are like, well, if I'm gonna go cheap, if I'm gonna DIY something, like I could do something else. So it's in this weird spot where it just gets overlooked, I feel. Laminate and Formica products were actually a favorite of Frank Lloyd Wright, and he used them in all of his homes. So that really says something about the material, I feel, and it's good if you like really bold and graphic colors that natural stones just don't come in because they're available in these materials. But at the same time, I don't feel like I could personally say, I'm gonna put it in my house, or I would put it into someone else's house, because I just believe that when it comes to a synthetic material, like these are created, it's plastic, it's like a wood substrate with, you know, like a plastic type coating over top of it. Is the plastic recycled? If I'm bringing plastic into my home, it needs to be recycled. It needs to be, you know, like sustainable. It needs to be good. I don't want to like add to something that doesn't make sense. Plus, laminate, the material, like the durability of it is not necessarily there. It dents, it chips, it scratches, you could actually burn it, and not all of that adds up to what we want in our home. So I don't feel like it's gonna become super mainstream again, just because there are things that are more durable than that. There are things that are viewed as being more luxurious. Like, in my opinion, I would choose like a tiled countertop over a laminate, just because like a tiled countertop has a like 1920s Spanish revival kind of reference point to it that I like, as where laminate doesn't necessarily have that. You often see people go in and restore homes and put in whatever that original laminate color was to kind of keep that throwback element. And you can find it in like really bold graphic colors. You could do avocado green, you could do, you know, a vibrant orange color. I mean, my kitchen, I can tell you the original kitchen in this house had melon yellow laminate countertops and blue laminate cabinets. And it's cool, you know, it's a throwback if that's what you're into. It's not for me, but you know, if that's what you're into. So, you know, there's a time and a place for it, and a lot of people do like it and a lot of people don't like it. So I think there's, you know, it's kind of something you have to weigh yourself. Now, obviously, no matter what you're doing to your kitchen or the rest of your home, if you need any help, I am at your service. You can always book a one-on-one consultation with me using the link in the description box down below, or going to intro.co/GarrettLeChic. Speaking of being in the comment section and looking at them, and I see everything that you say, everybody's always asking me about that lamp there, okay? That lamp, I love that lamp. It's not a floor lamp. It's sitting on a marble plinth, a green marble plinth. And it's not a floor lamp. I think it's a perfect height for a floor lamp. Honestly, I see why everybody likes it, but it's not a floor lamp. It's just a table lamp. And I just wanted to address that because the controversy, the drama, and the trauma I am having from the comment section about this lamp is far too much. Got all my stuff written down here. The next thing we are talking about, the next thing we have to address, the next design trend thing that like, where like, is it coming back? Is it not? What's going on with it? Is a honey oak cabinetry, honey oak flooring. And do I think it's coming back? No. I don't think people are going to be like, oh, I have to have the honey oak. It needs to be in my home. But I do think if you have it, you can certainly make it work. It can certainly look good. And I think there are lots of options and possibilities out there. Now, the honey oak is very yellow in tone. It's got a yellow orangey base to it. That's a lot of warmth there. And a lot of people just don't want something that strong. It's kind of the same thing with cherry. Like, cherry is just so red that a lot of people are like, I don't know how to deal with this. It's too much. And so they want something opposite of that, and which is why we like white oak so much. Garrett here, and I'm popping in because I wanted to put together an example of what golden oak can look like and make it look really good. So here's a kitchen example
it's not perfect. It's got golden oak, it's got this gray wall tone, and I don't love it. It's not terrible though. It doesn't need to be gutted and ripped out or anything. So this space could be definitely elevated. We've got a dated, window treatment, light fixture, whatever. I put together a mock-up here, threw it together really quickly to show you what could be done. We did green walls here. They're soft, they're pretty. I added some blue accents just to distract a little bit from the golden oak, but the green is pulling out the warmth still. We added even more with the furniture selections here, and then a little runner and a little bowl here just to kind of tie the whole design together. This is an easy and simple way to make a golden oak or yellow oak cabinetry look good and feel natural in a space. And if you're interested in any of the details of this kind of mock-up I put together, you can check them out in the description box down below. But I just wanted to pop in and share that with you so we can now get back to the video.
And that's the whole thing. Embrace it. Embrace what you have and figure out, how do we make this work without just saying like, it has to go, it's gone, it's out, it's dated, move on from it. Like, no, you can make it work. And the good thing about having like oak cabinetry is that it can always be refinished if you don't like it, if you're over it, because oak actually takes stain really beautifully, whether it's white oak or red oak or whatever. Like, you can totally make that work beautifully for you, or you could have it professionally painted as well. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, no, don't paint it. But people are gonna make the choices they're gonna make and what works best for them in their house. And I think that's okay too. I actually have plenty of clients that have said, like, we have really great red oak floors and we have cherry cabinets that just don't look good with it. And it's more expensive to replace the floors than it is to paint the cabinets. So they make that decision and it works out well for them. Now, the next thing we have to discuss, people are asking if it's coming back, and this may be quite controversial, which is fine because I'm in my villain era, as you know. And actually, I just want to say to the person who said, Garrett, you're not in your villain era, you're just a Scorpio. I see you, but that was a troll type comment. Okay, I allowed it to stand, but that's beside the point. Now, the dining room, the formal dining room is the topic of conversation. Is it back? In my opinion, yes, it never went away. I always had a formal dining room and I'm never gonna get rid of it. Even if I'm not entertaining anyone, I love a formal dining room. A lot of people got rid of the formal dining room because it's just not conducive to their lifestyle. Like, if you're not entertaining, if you don't have a reason for it, you don't need to keep it. And just keep in mind, every room in your house is just a room. You can do whatever you want with it. And actually, that reminds me, a lot of people comment and ask me to do a video on like mobile homes, like how do you decorate mobile homes, or like what do you do for a trailer home? I'm not gonna make a video about that because it's just a house. It's just a home. Like, maybe it's not built the same way, but a room is a room is a room. Like, it doesn't matter. So, it seems like an oddly specific topic when it doesn't need to be. Like, you find the layout that works best for you and work around that and make it happen. So like, I don't know about that. But the whole thing is, like, a room is a room is a room. Doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter what it's intended to be used for. Like, this room here that is my studio is a bedroom. Okay, it's a bedroom, but there's no bed in here because I don't use it that way. You don't have to use a formal dining room as a formal dining room if you don't want that. Turn it into a home office, turn it into a playroom for the kids. Nobody cares. Do what you're gonna do, your house, you have to live in it. But a lot of people are loving the formal dining room. And I think there's a couple of reasons for this. One is that there's a massive kind of movement happening right now of love and appreciation for historic and older homes. And you see that a lot on Instagram and TikTok, and people are like the cheap old houses type thing. I love it. I absolutely love historic design, and those homes have a plethora of rooms, and there's often a formal dining room, and people will use it as a formal dining room because they have 10 bedrooms or 7 bedrooms in these old homes. Like, they can do that. That's fine. And with Gen Z, they like things that are retro, so you see a little bit more of it there. That's why the formal dining room is back, and I love it. I'm a very much like a very glamorous and grand person, so I like things to be just a little bit more fancy and proper and glamorous. The formal dining room is definitely back though, and if we want to see some formal dining room content, let me know. What do you think about that? Share with me in the comment section. And while you're down there sharing, if you have not already, darling, you made it this far into the video, I know you are liking what you are hearing and seeing, so don't be fake. Hit the subscribe button, join us, become a part of the LeChic family. We would love to have you, and I would also absolutely love if you gave this video a like. Let me tell you the next thing we have to discuss and talk about. I actually see all of the time. I actually just got a comment this morning about it, but that's beside the point. we have to discuss, is it back? Is it ever gonna be trending again? And that's the red brick fireplace. There are different types of brick. That's what we have to address right off the bat. There are different types of brick. There's, like that really like strong red 70s brick. And then you kind of have like that Georgian brick, which is a little more aged, a little more natural. The Georgian brick, that's in, honey. She didn't go anywhere. She will never go anywhere. She is gonna be around forever. We love and adore and cherish and appreciate her. The 70s brick, no. Not coming back. We're not gonna see it become really trendy again. That doesn't mean it has to go. It doesn't mean you can't work with it. It doesn't mean you cannot decorate around it. And there are also treatments out there you can do to the brick to kind of tone down the red of it a little bit. So that might be worth looking into, but just remember, any DIY can go very bad very quickly. So you probably want to look into what the possibilities are and then who can professionally do that for you. Because if you mess it up yourself, there might not be any going back and you may have to paint that brick or something. But you can take that kind of 70s era really strong brick and make it work for you. Put some warm tones with it. Don't just do like a stark white wall, because then it's just gonna make it look even more red. But if you pull out the warmth of it by putting in other like tan and brown tones to help calm and tone it down a little bit, that'll help you out. Red brick. I have a love-hate relationship with it. Like, I love it on the exterior of a home. I live in a red brick house. As a matter of fact, that's like half of the reason we bought this house was because it's red brick, and I love that so much. I grew up in a red brick house. So I'm a lover of actual brick. But indoors, in interiors, it's harder to like wrap your head around red brick because it definitely has a more rugged, rough, like exterior type of feel to it that not everybody wants in their home. I'm not mad at a red brick fireplace, let's say, because it could be good if done right in the correct place. If it's a more formal room, having a red brick surround on your fireplace and like a beautiful mantle there in a little bit more of a traditional feel, it feels natural. It feels okay. It feels good. Like, even though it's not like, oh, a marble fireplace surround, like, it still looks fine and it has a little bit more of a casual feel to it. And in a more informal area, if you have a massive oversized red brick fireplace, that can feel good too. It's all just about what you're doing with that and how you're decorating around it, what else you're bringing into the space. You definitely have to address what is your style versus what do you have and how can you make those two work together. Now let's talk about something that has plagued interior design for many years. I know you saw it on TV because there was a point in time where they wouldn't leave us alone about it, and that is glass tile backsplash. Ooh, is it coming back? No. It's definitely not coming back because there were so many issues with it at the time. Glass tile backsplash was very in because of the colors you get in it. Like, glass is easy to make bold and bright, beautiful colors in. Like, that's why you see gorgeous stained glass windows. The glass tile backsplash, however, is a little bit difficult because I don't personally like a backsplash to be like the standout feature in the kitchen. I would rather that be the cabinetry or the countertops. So when it comes to a backsplash for me, I'm pulling the tones from the countertop to look for a backsplash, whether that's a natural material, whether we continue the countertop material up the backsplash, or if we're looking at a synthetic, a porcelain, a ceramic tile, whatever, I'm looking to pull from the countertop to create that seamless flow. So the glass tile backsplash to me kind of just stands out. It's this really bold moment that I don't like, I don't want to see. So it's not something I ever think will realistically come back in that way. I think if we do go for glass, it'll be colored glass, textured glass in some way. I just don't see it being this kind of like teal and purple and green glass backsplash. There are some people that really like it and they like that color. And if that works for you and your style and you've styled it really beautifully, you like it, I think that's great. Because like I said, not everything has to be a trend. Not everything is going to come back, but there is a time and a place for it. So if you like it, absolutely 100%. The main issue with glass tile backsplash is that glass is clear. You can see through it. So if the mortar behind the tile is not applied correctly, you can see it. You can see the grooves and the lines in it, and it was always an issue. Like, I swear there wasn't a single, interior design renovation TV show where they didn't use glass tile backsplash and then have a problem where they could see the mortar behind it. And like, it was just a known issue. So it makes it more difficult to install. I think that's something that really put a damper on people using it, because they were like, oh, well, it's so hard to install. Like, what if it gets messed up and then they have to rip it out and you have to buy more? It's just more expensive. So a lot of people got away from it for that reason. And I don't think it's going to become popular again, kind of for the similar reason. Actually, I think what'll take its place, if we're talking about glass and backsplash, is mirror. I've talked about it before and kind of saying, like, that gets really dirty really quick. Like, if anything gets on there, you get a water spot or anything, you're going to see it. And for some people, that's a really bad thing, but other people actually really love that, because it's like, they can tell immediately if everything is not perfectly 100% spotless. And they like knowing that. That might not be for everyone. And I think that's where you're gonna find glass more in like a mirrored backsplash than you will in a glass tile. I think we're kind of over that. It's kind of done. We're moving on from it. But for the people that have it, they really love it. I also think a glass tile backsplash works really beautifully in a craftsman style home, because, there's that kind of like signature green color that really looks good in a craftsman that you can get in glass tile backsplash. So that's something to consider also. I think there's a time and a place for everything. Like I've said numerous times in this video, it's all about what your style is, what you want out of the space, and what materials are gonna work right for you. Now that we talked about some things that are not coming back, or maybe they are, you be the judge of that, I guess. Let's talk about some things that are making your house look cheap and how you can fix them. Be sure you check out this video right here, and I will see you over there.